Hello and welcome. This is the first in a series of videos on losing weight, and it's a program that I call Dr. JT's It's All in Your Head Weight Loss Program. So why do I call it that? I call it that because losing weight is all in your head. That's what I'm telling you. It's not out there in a diet. It's not out there in some regimen that somebody tells you that you have to do. It's not to be found going to some fat rehab. It's in your head. It's something that's inside of you. And to find your way to lose weight is something that you have to find. It's not something that somebody can impose on you. Because if somebody imposes on you, it will be permanent. So what I'm talking about here is a program. It's a program of permanent weight loss. A program that will be driven by you. And I'm here to give you the keys to find that way. I'm going to give you the guidelines, the ways to think, and the ways to live so that you can find your direction to lose weight. Now, I developed this program. Because I was, at one time, about 7 years ago, I was overweight. And here's what I looked like about 7 years ago. It's not a pretty picture. It's about 270 pounds. I'm a tall guy. I'm about 6'1", 6'1", but I was about a little bit over 270. I didn't look good. I didn't feel good. And one day I decided I can't live like this anymore. I need to make a change. Now, I call myself Dr. JT, and the reason is I'm a doctor, but I'm not an MD. I got a PhD. And so I wanted to take a mental approach. That was kind of a natural thing for me, was to take a mental approach. And the way I did it, and I wanted to do it in kind of a scientific way. So in science, you kind of want to look at making it how something changes, one thing changes, and see how that thing changes. So I took that principle. And in fact, there were 3 principles that I developed as I thought about how I was going to do this. And the first was, I wanted to make one change at a time. So I said, let's get rid of the goals. Let's just throw out the goals and just live now. Don't worry about the future. Just live now. Don't get stressed about the future. Don't get too excited about the future. I decided to live in my situation as it was. And the third thing I decided to do was to go slow. I said, don't be in a hurry. I wanted to make sure that I made changes in my life so that when I got to the place that in the end I thought I might want to be, that the changes would be permanent. So going slow. I said, don't be in a hurry. So that gets back to the first thing, making one change at a time, I decided to do. One change, and I decided to make a small change. A small change that I could live with, that was big enough to have an impact, but small enough that it didn't tax my willpower. So I thought about that. I said, this is going to take a lot of willpower. And it takes willpower. But I didn't want to take too much. Just enough that I could live with it. So the first thing I did, the first thing I decided to do was not even to cut down on food. The first little change that I made was, I said, well, if I eat late in the evening, I just thought about it. I said, well, if I eat late in the evening and I go to bed and I'm full, that's not good. Just had this instinctive feeling. think maybe I'd read something about it, but that was kind of like a feeling. So I said, I'm going to go to bed a little bit hungry. Not a lot hungry, just a little bit hungry. And when I did that, I said, okay, if I'm going to bed a little bit hungry, then that means I have to compress the hours that I eat. I'm going to have to eat my bigger meal early in the day. I'm not going to eat a big meal late in the evening. I'm not going to eat a big meal, dinner. So I compressed the time that I ate, and I decided, well, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to try to eat a big lunch to make that my biggest meal of the day. And I'm not going to eat anything, say, after 4 p.m., something like that. And the interesting thing was, and I made sure I went to bed a little bit hungry, and I lost a little weight. I didn't really do anything. I didn't consciously try to cut calories or anything. I just compressed the hours that I ate, and I lost some weight. Then I said, okay, well, let's start cutting things out one at a time. And that's what I did slowly over time. Cut down on bread. Maybe ate less pasta. Started eating more vegetables. Less processed meat. All those little, not all at once, little changes I did over time. And they were small enough that it wasn't something that it was like, oh no, this really hurts. Oh no, I can't do this. Oh no, I'm really gonna miss this stuff. Because if I'm really gonna miss it, I shouldn't do it. And that's what I'm telling you. If you're really gonna miss stuff, don't cut it out, because you're gonna feel like you're punishing yourself. And that was another thing. I realized along the way, I didn't want to feel I was punishing myself. So that's that idea of small changes. I wasn't setting a goal, so it wasn't like, oh, we have to hurry. Wasn't punishing myself. In fact, I would usually make sure that I had one big meal, so I felt satisfied. There was a period in the day that I felt full. I wanted to feel that. I wanted to feel full, but I didn't want to go to bed full. I wanted to go to bed just a little bit hungry. And so it started making those little changes, would start having impact. Went down a little bit, leveled off because the effect of the change, my body adjusted to the change. Then I'd make another little change and drop down again. Take a few weeks, level off, make another little change, another loss of weight, level off. And this kept on going. You say, how long did it take, Dr. JT? It took time. Let me tell you, I'm going to repeat this stuff a lot. If you're in a hurry, you're never going to get very far. You're going to have to be willing to go slow. And it took me about a year and a half from going to about a little bit over 270 to about 220. And I lost slowly about 50 pounds. Along the way, I was making changes in my diet. My diet was slowly changing. I didn't even think about how it wanted to end. All I thought about was making little changes. And otherwise, pretty much living my life as it was. And so I'd gotten to that point where I lost the 50 pounds. Oh, and I want to make clear to you. So as I started losing weight, I gained confidence. And that's a really important thing, is because when you start seeing that it's working, I started seeing it was working, and you'll see that too. You gain confidence. And I gained confidence. I began to believe. And once that was going, I was on my way. And the other thing I did was I monitored myself. I weighed myself every day. And I wish I'd done it on a spreadsheet, but I kept track on a whiteboard. And I had a whiteboard. I write it down. See, so it was maybe over a month or so. I'd write all the weight down day by day. And I could see the downward trend. So that gave me confidence. I kept track. I monitored myself. I kept on making changes. Once I got to 50 pounds, a 50-pound loss, I leveled off for a while, a few months. Kind of consolidated. I'd lost a lot of weight, but I was still overweight. Then I said to myself, I can keep on going. I don't know where I want to end up, but I'm still feel overweight, and I think I can lose more. I think I'm going to feel better and healthier if I lose more. So I kept on going again. And I got under 200. 190. Once I got below 190, I started getting in a range where I was feeling pretty light. I hadn't felt that way for years. I looked better. I looked younger. I could do things that I thought it was because of age. It turned out it was because of weight. I could run upstairs as if I was 20 years younger. That was amazing. I loved that. I loved being able to run up the stairs as if I was much younger. I felt like a younger man. It was a wonderful feeling. So I got down to that level, 185 or so, and lost nearly 90 pounds. And, okay, I've been kind of sustaining that level. And I've been able to do that for the past 4 years. So I gained a little bit of weight earlier this year, and I'll talk about that in a later video. And but I've been able to maintain even that just a little bit. I wasn't heavy. I was just a little bit. I was a little bit heavier, and I decided, okay, I'm getting a little bit out of the range that I want to be in. So then I went back on my program. I'll talk about that later, another video. So why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I didn't really think a lot of it, what I did. Once I got to that level, I just lived that life. I changed a lot, made a lot of changes in my life. I felt healthy. I felt a lot better, a lot happier about myself. But I didn't really think a lot about it. It was just kind of seemed natural. But people told me, John, you did something special. You got to tell people. And so that's what I've done. It took me time, but I've done it. So here I am. So here's this video, and this is to tell you that there's hope. My message is there's hope. And the hope is inside of you. The path, the direction is inside of you. And what I've told you today are the keys, the ways of living, the ways of approaching this, so that you can find out and make your program, because it's all in your head. So I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to have more videos on this subject. So I'd like you to please click the like button. Please leave a comment. That helps the algorithm. I really appreciate that. Subscribe. Please subscribe. And most importantly, please share this video with someone that you care about. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And next time I'm going to go over more of those 3 principles, the 3 keys to this program. Talk about that in more detail. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.